Who you a fool for this? Who you a fool for this? I walk like I talk like I act like I look like I think like my shit don't stink. I fuck like I suck like I ride like I taste like I look like my shit don't stink. I walk like I talk like I act like.
What's up YouTube? We are at America's Gym today. We're gonna do a little glute workout and I'm gonna show you guys how I've changed how I think about movements and like my mind muscle connection and like what has helped me actually grow my glutes, since y'all know we've been on this journey to grow my glutes. So I'm gonna kind of show you guys what a quad dominant girly has been doing to kind of, I don't know, change my mind, fix the movements, and just how I've changed the movements I do. If that makes sense. I don't know, y'all have asked for this video, I just don't know how to word it, but we're gonna train glutes and I'm gonna talk to you. Basically that's what it is. Okay, so we're gonna start with my warm-ups. Pretty much every single leg day at this point, I will do hamstring curls and a bunch of abductions. This is a gluteator is what they call it at this gym. The seat is just more back. Just your typical abduction machine. I don't know, they call it good girl, bad girl. I think it's the bad girl one is what people call it. But on this, I used to just kind of like throw weight around and push with my knees. A lot of people will think about pushing out with their knees like this and you're just throwing it around. I want you to think, keep your knees straight and genuinely think about holding like your glutes here and pushing out with your glute and pushing in with your glute too, and hold this shit. If you have to like hold your literal ass, push out like that to make sure that you are literally feeling that muscle moving instead of just going, pushing it out like that. So just think of controlling it. And these I go kind of high rep, like at least 20 reps. And I'll do about 3 sets, last one bringing it to failure. But I literally just like poke my glute to like make sure that I'm feeling it moving and feeling it working. And this is something that I'll warm up with and I'll do as a burnout at the end of my workout. This, I don't know, it's kind of self-explanatory, but kind of not, especially if you're somebody that just throws weight around like I used to. Hold your glutes, feel that shit. I don't care what anybody else in your gym is thinking, oh, she's holding her ass, who gives a fuck, just hold it, okay? So this is something that you wouldn't normally think, like, oh, I need to think about my glutes in this, but the way I squat is something I've also had to change, because at this point, any kind of lower body movement, if I can make it a little glute bias, we're going to. So normally, like even if you're on a barbell, if you do a high bar, like the reason my quads shut up is because I do high bar. So the bar is sitting like right across my traps instead of like middle of my back. So I'm more upright and it's a lot of quad, because if you see here, more knee flexion, more quad. I want to think more hip flexion, so I get more of a stretch up here. So instead of here, we're here like that. And that means that I don't get as much depth as I may have used to, and I didn't. Honestly, a lot of my squats I don't post that much anymore, so that motherfucker's out like, oh my God, where's the depth? But I'll show you how I do it on this machine because I like her. So just think more hip flexion for glutes, more knee flexion for quads. So let's do a little quad situation. If I wanted to make this more quad focused, I would bring my stance in more and look at my knees compared to my hips. I have my hamstrings touching my knees like this. You see that right there. That's gonna be way more quad. I kind of need to go back here, so I'm getting more hip flexion. That makes sense? Yeah, possibly? Let's add some weight. And when it comes to squats especially, a big part that I've kind of had to change in my mind is just thinking about that hip flexion in my glutes. Because if I squat, I don't have to think about engaging my quads. My quads are gonna fire no matter what the fuck I do. I don't have to think about it. Whereas my glutes, I have to like sit there and be like, okay, do we feel this here? And also something that I don't think a lot of people understand either is when you do, for instance, you'll see this a lot in RDLs. I'll show you guys that in a bit. I think people expect to feel that like burning sensation in your glutes that you do on a hip thrust, like that squeeze at the top. At the bottom of a squat, you're not gonna feel that squeeze. It's more of, you wanna feel this stretch up here. Does that make sense? I'm saying that as if you guys can like talk back to me. I actually warmed up on the pendulum because I was waiting for this machine, so we're just gonna go straight to our working sets. You should do some warm-up sets, but I'm just gonna throw some plates on here and see what happens. Also, I feel like when I make these like talky explain videos, I'm like so out of breath the entire time. I'm like, so this is how you feel in your glutes? We're gonna start with 4 and we'll see. I've also stopped doing barbell squats. I honestly haven't done barbell squats since May. I fucked up my lower back under a Smith machine earlier this year, and they've just never felt the same. So I've been kind of doing squatting variations. So like, this is still a heavy squat, but the way that it feels in my back is better. If you want to grow your quads though, get under a barbell. I'm sorry, I said it. Everyone that's like, you don't have to barbell squat, you don't have to. And then in the same breath, they'll say, Kenzie, what are your favorite quad exercises? I'm gonna tell you a barbell squat every time. But right now, for where I'm at in my glute building journey, we will do this. Because basically it's operation make this match this. All right, we'll see. I'll put on a belt on soon, possibly. See how this feels. So notice my hips when this happens. If you see my fupa, don't talk about it. Ugh. Like so. I'm gonna put my belt on for the next. We're gonna add 5 1/4. Should I do 6? The ego lifter's thinking. This is what's wrong with my head. I'm like, fuck it, let's do 6. Okay, so y'all know this is our compound movement of the day. I still move weight on these when I do squats. You'll notice later I'll talk about my hip thrust. I brought my weight down a lot to kind of feel it more. And my glutes on here, we're still pushing weight. I don't care what you say. If you have good form, you learn how to feel it, and you progressively overload, there's no way you're not growing. No. You can't unscience science. So we're gonna go until we can't. It wouldn't have been smart to go for another. So 6 in the top set, I'm not mad. Next week we're doing 7 or we're not leaving. Okay, y'all, we're gonna do a back off set. If you guys have been here, you know, after my top set, so I just did 6 plates for 6, and now we're gonna drop to 4 plates and do like 12 to 15 reps, burn that shit out. And yeah, so I don't know. Now the shit feels light compared to that. Quad burn than I liked, but we did it. So that's the main compound, and now we'll get into some more like glute shit. Okay, y'all, now we're gonna do RDLs. This is probably like the #1 movement that I had to figure the fuck out to feel it in my glutes. I'm gonna show you what I used to do and what most people who just feel it in their hamstrings normally feel. Is they'll pick it up, that was me going forward, Look at my hips and look how straight my legs are. I used to do this, and it's all hamstring for me. I'm not feeling shit in my glutes. Now what I do is I think about pushing my hips back and bending my knees. It low-key looks like a squat, and then pulling up with my asshole. Okay, I want you to think when you go down, you see the little booty scrunch? I think my ass kind of shakes when I did that, honestly. When I go down, the scrunch goes out of my asshole. But when I come up, I'm squeezing the scrunch back in like that. So think about, the easiest way I can describe it is from like this side. You're closing a door with your butt, so you're hinging at your hip, but when you can't go back anymore, you start to bend a little bit more, and then you're gonna feel a greater stretch in your glutes there. Pull up with your glute like that. What a lot of people tend to do when they do a RDL is they think dumbbells to the ground, so they go like this. You need to think, roll these shoulders back. Everybody always says engage your lats in a RDL. Bring these shoulders back. Imagine there's a tennis ball in your armpit and you're squeezing it. The dumbbells only go down because your hips go back. So these dumbbells are on me, hips go back. The dumbbells are just going down because my hips are going back, and I pull up with my glutes like that. So that's how you do with 2 dumbbells, RDL. What I've been doing, and I fucking love, is it's like a combination of an RDL and like a Bulgarian low-key. So I'll show you. To the side, I feel like it makes more sense. So I'm starting with the 45s. I'll go up and get a strap. I plant this foot like this. This is my working leg. It's much more of a squat lunge look than like a RDL deadlift. I push this back. I hold this glute with this hand. You see how I'm like almost in a lunge? And I think about pulling up with my glute like that. These have been absolutely fucking fire for me. Nice and slow with these 2. And this is something too, like I talked about with those squats, you're not gonna feel like a squeeze like you are with the hip thrust. You're gonna feel a stretch right here. Kind of when you see your tie-in, if you're a competitor, you know what I'm talking about, you're gonna feel your tie-in. So instead of feeling it up here, ass shot, you're gonna feel it here, like right under. So when you see competitors and they're in their back pose, you see that little V that goes into their legs, that's the tie-in that we're talking about. So I'll start with like 45, 50, set of 10 on each side, and then I'll go up to like 65 and go to failure on each side. I like to do these single leg instead of together, just because it's really hard for me to feel my right leg. My left glute, like there's a reason you guys only see this quarter turn, because I hate this side. Because it's hard for me to feel that connection, so when I do single leg, it makes it easier, if that makes sense. I don't know. Y'all can see. I feel like you can see it better from this side. And I'm thinking about pushing my hips back while I'm bending my knee, but push this back, pull up with your glute. Legs up. And then I'm gonna take a little resty rest, pick up some heavier dumbbells, then go to failure on each side. All right, y'all. Only 2 sets here. We're bringing this to failure, but I still need to feel it. So the second that I'm not feeling this and some of the body parts taking over, we're gonna drop it, but same shit. I do kind of like to stop at the bottom too. No, I felt that shit shaking. See it? Kinda? From an angle? Okay, other side. I have so many things I want to show them, but I can't do all of them today.
Huh?
I can't do it all today. There's so many things I want to show them. Like maybe if I show a Bulgarian, but I just don't do it. Like,
You could. I mean, it's a fun YouTube video.
right? True, it is my YouTube video. I can do what I want.
It's like just because you don't hit it, the whole point of the YouTube video is informational. It doesn't have to be your training.
I know, I just don't like being a fake bitch. I don't know.
It's not. Or you can literally just say, I'm not actually going to hit this today, but because of this is the purpose of the video, I'm going to show you guys what to do.
Second my back takes over, my right leg is weaker. I fucked up there. I should have started with my right and then went to my left. When you do single leg movements, start with your weaker side. Don't do what I just did. I just want to show you guys. Since we're here, I don't know. I'm not doing them, not fake doing the exercise. Adrian told me it was okay to do this. So I used to do Bulgarians for a long ass time too. So whatever, you put your leg up here, you know how to do a Bulgarian, right? I would take 2 heavy ass weights and I would be up like this. And my quads are gonna take over every fucking time. I had to learn how to, once again, hip flexion, right? Kind of lean forward, tip this butt up a little bit, and kind of sit back into it here so I get more of a stretch here up into my glutes and push up again with my glute. I still go heavy with it, but instead of taking 2 dumbbells, I'll take 1 heavier dumbbell than this and sit back. But do you see my, like, I'm not up like this. I'm bent over so I have that stretch there. Push up like that and don't lock that knee out. Push, kind of sit back into it like that. So I'm not going forward. And what I see a lot of people do wrong too is they take like a giant fucking step. And they're like, you don't have to be doing that. Like, you don't have to make it huge. But just think about hinging at your hip and sitting back into that there. You should feel it here. Push up like that. And hold your glute again. And once you can get that down, you can get that feeling, then just bring that weight up and progressively overload that shit till you can't anymore. But we're not doing these today. I do Bulgarians on my Saturday leg day. We're gonna do some high rep hip thrusts and then some kickbacks and call it a day. All right, y'all, this is probably the #1 movement I had to figure the fuck out what I was doing. A hip thrust. #1, barbell. People tell you all the time when you're like, shut the fuck up, that like a barbell hip thrust is just gonna be better than any machine. I believe them now. Unfortunately, they are right. I had to bring the weight down. Could I thrust 4 plates right now? Yes, I could. But when I do that, my quads take over. I will explain more once I get into it. A big part of hip thrust for me was just changing how I think. Because for me, I talked about this earlier, my quads are going to take over everything. It does not matter what I do. If I'm low to the ground in some way, shape, or form, my quads are gonna be burning. So for me, what I used to do, I'll move this way so you can kind of see. Everyone tells you like you need a 90-degree angle right here, right? When I do that, you get like a stretch in your quad, and I would feel my quad burning, so I was like, no, that's not right, I'll bring it out. Which was wrong because then my hamstrings were taking over. For me, thinking about my heels being back even more than I think they need to be, even if I feel it in my quads, I had to learn that that doesn't mean that my glutes aren't working. So I almost had to learn how to like shut off my brain that thinks about my quads and just think about my glutes, if that makes sense. Another big thing I did, toes out, heels back, ribs down. Because a lot of us, like if you have a rib flare, you're here. You want to think about tucking that and almost scooping your glutes up instead of like straight up. Think about like scooping, if that makes sense. So I'll show you how to do it, and I'll maybe tell you some more cues. I actually made a TikTok about this, and y'all asked for like an in-depth video, so, which honestly I may have this film vertical. And today, this isn't like a compound movement today. I'm gonna do high rep 3 sets here. Think about pushing these back. Controlling, and one big thing too is the second that my knees start to come back, that's when the tension is no longer on my glutes. So once I get to like here, scoop up. Boom. That one felt in my glutes. Another thing, sorry, I gotta get this off of me. I feel like for a long time the bar wasn't like on my pelvis. Like I had it like here. This is like straight vagina shot. Like I had it here but not here. Like right where we crease fupa starts, that's where I need to sit it. So it's almost like I had to roll it back a little bit more. I really don't know how to explain it, but that helped me. And I don't know, I just felt that shit right in my ass, so good sign. And a tip too, if you go to more of like a commercial gym, if you feel like your barbell pad, I use this thick thing, but if you feel like your barbell pad, like it still hurts because the weight's so heavy, get a yoga mat and like fold that up a couple times. I feel like that's more support than just like your regular barbell pad. But same thing. So normally I think I would have started with it here, but I just kind of pull her back a bit more. So she's like right on my, just right there. I don't know, she's on that bitch. And then your shoulders on here, you want it right under your shoulder blades. I don't know how to describe that part. Tuck your chin, double chin central, bring these heels back more than you think you need to. Start here, toes out, scoop up. So you notice these are kind of like a calf bridge almost. Like I don't even do a full hip thrust. Now hold it at the top too. I've done a lot of different rep ranges too. I like to go like 15 plus honestly, and then what I'll do once I've done my last set, I'll put a band on and just body weight that shit out. For me, sorry, I'm so out of breath, y'all. Whew. Hip thrusts have been all about how I feel it and not so much just throwing the weight up. But now I'm kind of at the point where I can add more weight on because I've taken the time to learn how to feel it, if that makes sense. But I can't talk anymore, I'm out of breath. Okay, last set, y'all. I thought this shit not even on me. Big one for me is ribs down. That one's hard to think about. Slay. Whew. I have an ass pump and be pissed. No. All right, like I said, this is my like high rep 3-set day. When I do a compound, I'll do drop set. Have to drop set after drop set, but today that's what we're doing, so I can't really see right now. Y'all, kickback time. I sucked at these for the longest fucking time, and we're still honestly figuring it out. I like to step on a plate, just because when you're on the ground, I feel like it's like, I don't know, like you're hitting the ground. So I like just being a little elevated. Move this back a little bit. I hold like here. I get a full stretch up here, so I have, I don't know, I got the stretch there. Kind of think about anterior tilting, so with your hips, set it like this, tuck that shit like that. Squeeze. Get that stretch there. And sometimes I do just have to hold it. Ow, that hurt on the ground. Did not like that experience. This is also something I had to bring the weight down on a lot. And sometimes I will kick it out like that. But for me, I need to work on my glute med more so than anything else. So glute medius. And then I'll switch it to the other side and do my other leg. And on these, I'll do like 4 sets, 15, 12, 10 fail type of situation, since the weight is a bit lighter. We'll do the other side. So I would like to say as well, the angle is better when you're on the opposite side. Just point that out there. Slay. But yeah, I don't know. It's like donkey kick up with your glute like that. This is also something that you just gotta do yourself and feel it until you feel it, because it took me a hot ass minute. I'm just gonna stay on one side. I'm done with switching this. I'm gonna finish the rest of my reps on. I'm finished the rest of my sets on this side and then go to my right side. Okay, last on this glute. No, me every 2 seconds, like, is my ass fatter? Do I have a fat ass yet? I'm stuck. Okay, left. What? Slay. Adrian just said that my ass looks better. No, literally, he would have been like, no, that can't be included in the video. I can't compliment Kenzie. I can't validate any of Kenzie. Bruh. This is bodybuilding. However, one time Adrian did say I have less cellulite. I was like, really? No way. So my lower back starts taking over, I'm like, out. Something I do like to do though too is like stand on a plate, really tilt that bitch and just go like that. Do a little upper glute action. But now I do my other leg. Almost done. Almost done. Also, if you guys ever go to America's Gym, this is so quiet. With the owner, he will show every single machine when you're new here. He will go through, like he's doing it right now. He will go through every single machine because there's a bunch of like weird shit here. Show you how to do it. I think it's so cool. I've never seen anyone do that. Right in the corner, Swake. What if the guy doesn't want to be on camera? We gotta blur out his face. Come on, Adrian. Have you learned? We have watchers. Watchers, fans. If you're a fan, you might as well subscribe.
I think it's funny as fuck.
No, annoying. Evil ass man. Adrian supports awful men. You heard it here first. He's canceled. Firing him actually. Peyton's my new videographer.
That shit was so funny, bro.
No,
I had to comment. I said, nah, losing my job on IG is crazy. That's like in a breakup text through text. Not even through text, through IG,
no,
bro.
An IG caption.
A caption saying, P.S. Adrian, you lost your job.
Sorry. Peyton came through. That post was one of the best posts, like performance-wise, in months.
I'm pretty sure you had your ass out and you were in a fucking...
No, no ass was out. No ass was out. It was just my quads. So, but if my ass was out, you're saying it would get views? Just expose yourself.
No, I forgot which one it was. You and
it was me. I'm in a swimsuit. It's a one piece, but my quad.
But you guys are both like this.
No.
No. I'm talking about the one that I'm thinking about. I thought it was the one of you and Peyton like showing your ass.
No, it was just me from the front. Quads looking fire as fuck.
Oh, I know. I was looking at the comment section. They were eating that shit up.
No, Ian, I got like 16K likes. I don't think I've gotten that in months. That was crazy. I was like, okay.
My comment got hella likes. I was like, I'm like, how the fuck do people really be reading the comments, huh?
No, yeah.
I didn't think people were gonna see my comment.
Apparently so. They be reading that shit, but no. Even when Peyton took that, she goes, Kenzie, the shape, and I was like, okay, period. It was in like such a not ideal spot though. I'm like hella bitches around me. God, that like my adductors when I push that plate is crazy. Okay, I need to finish this. Go up a bit, up a tad. I feel like Kaylin when I do that. No. The second my back is in it, I'm out. But yeah. Do you see it and you only see my back rolls? Fuck off. But yeah, that was honestly probably just me talking a lot and breathing very heavily. But those are kind of like the main cues. Those are the big movements I've really had to like relearn since being on my growing glutes journey that I was supposed to be on for the past like 4 years. But yeah, vlogs coming soon. Let me know what you guys want to see that isn't like Kenzie tries a bunch of boot camp classes. Like at the end of the day, I still got a body build, but I don't know if you guys want more like gym videos, like what you want to see, because I'm kind of like very fucking lost with content. So if you're a girly and you're still watching this long, comment, let me know what you want to see. Other than that, I hope your glutes grow to be as big as the sun. Love ya!
Who you a fool for this? Who you a fool for this? I walk like I talk like I act like I look like I think like my shit don't stink. I fuck like I suck like I ride like I taste like I